U.S. President Donald Trump is back to doing what he does best, making protectionist statements. His latest target is India. Trump says that he plans to end the preferential trade treatment for India. Before we discuss how and if it will change anyone's life, let's tell you what he's talking about. What is this preferential trade treatment? The term you'll see in headlines is GSP, Generalized System of Preference. Under the system, Indian exports enter the US duty-free. Some of the Indian exports at least. We're talking about exports to the tune of $5.6 billion. Now, the objective of this GSP was to give development support to help emerging economies by promoting their exports. Who benefits from this? India, Brazil and Turkey. These were the top beneficiaries. Under the system, India exports nearly 2,000 products to the US, and yet Donald Trump's announcement will not hurt India. That's because 90% of Indian exports to America are taxed. They face the normal tariffs. Preferential treatment was given only to 10%, mostly agricultural products, meat, fisheries, handicrafts, things like that. Taxing them will barely make a difference. India gains a paltry $190 million on a trade of $5.6 billion. The impact is minimal. So why is Donald Trump doing it? Because he likes making a splash. In a letter to US lawmakers, the president said, and I'm quoting, "I'm taking this step because after intensive engagement between the United States and the government of India, I have determined that India has not assured the United States that it will provide equitable and reasonable access to the markets of India." This decision does not amount to much, apart from the fact that it's strong on messaging. It is the harshest from the Trump administration on India so far, because technically India is the largest beneficiary of this arrangement. So what will New Delhi do? We can tell you what it will not do. India will not go the China way. India will not impose retaliatory tariffs, and the Indian market is not losing sleep over this. In fact, both the Nifty and the Sensex today gained 1% in trade. If Trump's idea was to unsettle and spook, he has failed. The one major takeaway from the whole development is this, that Donald Trump has set his eyes on India. After beginning a trade war with China, he has often called India a high tariff country. This decision may also be Trump's idea of retribution for India's new e-commerce rules. This new e-commerce policy of New Delhi restricts the way Amazon and Walmart-backed Flipkart do business in India. So there are many factors at play. It certainly has nothing to do with Pakistan, we can tell you, or the standoff between India and Pakistan. The press in Pakistan is going to town with this story. They need to check their facts, as does Donald Trump. So look at these numbers. The US trade deficit with India has actually come down more than 10% since 2014. From $31 billion in 2014, it was down to $27.3 billion in 2017. And Donald Trump's attempt to target India is intriguing. Let's show you the list of countries with which the US runs massive trade deficits. China, Mexico, Japan, Germany, Canada. This is the top 5 list. And that contains the erstwhile NAFTA partners, Canada and Mexico. And still, the President of the United States chooses to target India. The other thing here is the timing. This month is expected to be a crucial one for America and China. A meeting between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping is on the cards. So is he using India to spell his tough stance on trade? Perhaps a message for President Xi. With Donald Trump, you can never be sure.